defendant has personal knowledge that he and other members or associates of YSL have either participated in or directly committed at least one of the following crimes in order to increase the notoriety and reputation of YSL: murder, armed robbery, aggravated assault, attempted murder, theft, illegal gun possession, and illegal drug possession and sales. Mr. Sledge, have you had an opportunity to go over each one of the defendant's factual acknowledgments and make corrections where necessary?
Yes.
And do you now acknowledge under oath that each of the factual acknowledgments that you have initialed in this section are true and correct and accurate to the best of your ability?
Yes, ma'am.
Part 5 of this plea agreement, Your Honor, states that defendant's sentencing acknowledgments are as follows. Defendant understands fully that if he violates any provision or any special condition of this plea agreement, the district attorney can and will use the contents of this document and agreement during any judicial proceeding. Defendant understands fully that if he violates any provision or any special condition of this plea agreement, his probation for this sentence may be revoked in its entirety, and the district attorney will recommend that defendant serve any remaining portion of this sentence in confinement at the Georgia Department of Corrections or prison. Number 3, defendant understands fully that any violation of any provision or of any special condition of this plea agreement shall result in defendant being sentenced on count 30 of this indictment, and the district attorney will recommend that the defendant serve the maximum sentence allowed by law. Number 4, defendant understands fully that if prior to the conclusion of the initial trial of this case, defendant fails or refuses to testify to any fact that he acknowledges in this plea agreement, such failure or refusal nullifies any promise made by the district attorney to null pros count 30 of this indictment. Number 5, defendant understands fully that defendant's violation of any provision or of any special condition of this plea agreement prior to the conclusion of the initial trial of the case shall nullify any promise made by the district attorney to null pros count 30 of this indictment and may result in defendant being, and Your Honor, there is a typo that is in this document. It's the word should be being, and it's spelled B-E-G-I-N. I'm going to ask that defendant just strike through and initial that word, B-E-G-I-N.
This holiday season, shop your way. Buy online and pick up too. Meet us for curbside pickup.
Those hijacking.
And initial
We
that word,
back.
B-E-G-I-N to B-E-I-N-G. And Mr. Sledge, is that your initial above the strike through of the word begin to change it to being?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And may result in defendant being sentenced to serve as much as 35 years of confinement in the Georgia Department of Corrections or prison. Number 6, defendant understands fully that no promises, agreements, or conditions have been made other than those set forth in this document. Mr. Sledge, are these your initials on each section under defendant's sentencing acknowledgments?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Sledge, do you agree that the following...
That nigga said, yes, ma'am. That nigga said, yes, ma'am. These niggas supposed to be all that, man. You niggas killers on the street, man. Niggas can't even do a bit. Soft ass niggas, man. I'm gonna throw Thug under the rug. I'm gonna throw him under the bus. Niggas terrible, man.
following statement is one that you have read, fully understood, and signed your name acknowledging. I, Antonio Sledge, have read and carefully reviewed this agreement. I have reviewed and corrected where necessary for accuracy each statement contained in defendant's factual acknowledgments, and I acknowledge the truth and accuracy of each and every statement listed therein. I fully understand this agreement, and I've had an opportunity to discuss this agreement and each of its provisions with my attorney, Mr. Derek Wright. No promises other than those contained in this document have been made to me in furtherance of this agreement. I freely, knowingly, and voluntarily enter into this agreement without force, threat, or coercion. Is that the statement that you acknowledged in this agreement?
Yeah, ma'am.
And is that the statement to which you signed your name underneath?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, the state tenders as evidence State's Exhibit 1-8S.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let's get a real nice, big, nice picture of him. Yeah, we got him. Yes, ma'am. He did a whole bunch of yakking. And I ain't get all of it because I just want y'all to get the yes, ma'ams. Man.
No. Any objection? States 1AS is admitted for purposes of plea.
For
educational purposes only.
How do you plead?
Educational purposes only.
Of conspiracy.
Fair use.
The Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act as alleged in count 1 of indictment 22SC 183572.
Guilty.
And how do you plead to count 30 of this indictment 22SC 183572, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon previously convicted of a felon involving the use or possession of a firearm?
Guilty.
Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with the full knowledge of the charges against you?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that you may have only a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you have only 4 years from today for a felony charge and 12 months from today for a misdemeanor charge to file what is known as a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness of this guilty plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, the state will now provide a factual basis for this plea.
All right. Go ahead, ma'am, whenever you're...
Your Honor, if this case were to go to trial, the state believes that the evidence will prove beyond a reasonable doubt against this defendant that the defendant, together with indicted and unindicted co-conspirators in Fulton County,
It's another dude ratting, man. It's another dude ratting on YSL Young Thug.
2022 did
That's what's going on right now.
To acquire, maintain.
It's another dude telling everything, yes, ma'am, and he gave a little testimony, whatever. The yes, ma'am was enough. It's a damn shame you niggas want to be gun-toting, dope-selling, killing nigga. They got a nigga in the, babe, they got a nigga in the group named Demon.
He look like one too.
He look like one too, don't
He look a little off.
he? Demon. What you expect?
Demon took a play too.
Yeah, Demon copped out too. Like, yo, Demon was the one that was out there off and everything. Man, crazy. Just like the Mafia boys. I forgot his name, man. It might be Lansky. I'm not 100% sure. But the actual hitman for them was the one that turned state's evidence against them. He was the hitman. They gave him a little bit of time and then put him in protective services after that. He told them the whole organization, but he was the one that was doing all the murders. Yeah. This what you dealing with, all you slick street niggas. Yeah, all you niggas want to be slick street niggas, man. You heard me? Y'all better come back home. Y'all better understand who y'all are, Moors. Y'all gotta understand who y'all are, man. You know, my channel, I usually, you know, I don't really get into stuff like this, but yeah, y'all need to see some of this stuff, man. And y'all need to like the video so it can go in the algorithms so these young kids can start seeing this stuff. Y'all gotta share it. Okay? And please subscribe. You know, because all I'm gonna do is give your kids something that they need to hear. I ain't blowing no smoke up their ass, none of that shit. They need to see this type of shit because all these kids want to be gang shit. All right? So when them boys come, gang, no, snitch, tellin, like a rat. Just like that. Yeah, it's hard to go from fur coats, bottles of lean, 30s, 1030s every day, and you know, fentanyl all over the place, and you know, it's easy to live like that, right? But when you go up in that cell and you don't have your Louis Vuitton slides, which I think slides stupid as shit, because if a civil war was to really break out, you niggas would be running around with rubber shoes on and shit. Like, man, wake up, man. Wake up. Yeah, and learn the law. Learn the laws. Learn the laws. Okay, I'm studying the laws right now. Okay, learn your laws. Right? Alright, so let me get finished with the video.
Directly and indirectly, an interest in and control of United States money and other personal property through a pattern of racketeering activity. Furthermore, defendant did unlawfully conspire to conduct and participate in, directly and indirectly, such enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity. The enterprise, Your Honor, as described in this indictment, and as the state expects the evidence will show, is called Young Slime Life, also known as YSL.
Young Slime
During
Life.
the time listed in the indictment, the defendant, along with others, conspired to associate together and with others for the common purpose of illegally obtaining money and property through a pattern of racketeering activity and conducting and participating in this enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity. The objectives of the conspiracy included, but were not limited to, protecting, preserving, and enhancing the reputation, power, and territory of the enterprise through acts of racketeering activity, including murder, assault, and threats of violence, preserving, protecting, and enhancing the reputation, power, and territory of the enterprise by the posting of messages, images, videos, and songs demonstrating allegiance to the enterprise and a willingness to engage in violence on its behalf, obtaining money, weapons, and other
Hey,
property
where's that
through
part you
acts
said
of
where he was doing all?
racketeering
Until we passed it already?
robbery, theft, and the unlawful sale
All right,
and
wait a minute.
distribution.
We're going to go back a little bit, y'all. Hold up. Wait a minute. We live. We chilling. All right, we chilling. Wait a minute.
Go back.
Yeah, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Go to
Do you weigh
12.
any and all defects in
Is it 12? So, man. All right. And my wife, you know, we building. You know. Journalism work. The real way, the raw way, the true way. We ain't throwing no fakery, no lies. We telling the truth, the real shit. So y'all don't understand that the news within itself, they give us the information that they want us to know. They don't tell us everything because they don't want us to know everything. So let's go back to some real news journalism. P&T Productions.
Your Honor, at this time, actually, and Mr.
Look,
Smith,
this nigga's trying to hide.
opportunity to review
Don't hide, nigga. We know, we see you.
within state
We see you, nigga.
Exhibit 1AS.
Yes, ma'am.
Hard, probably beating hard as shit.
As reflected on State's Exhibit 1AS,
Nigga said, I want to go home.
the current charges that you face are
That was a hijack. 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 That was a hijack.
violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. And
Yeah, we trying to hide.
possession of a firearm
Stop
by
trying to hide,
felon
nigga.
previously convicted of
Behind that
felony
fat head
involving the
nigga.
use or possession of a firearm, OCGA 1611-133. The negotiated sentence as outlined in State's 1AS is count 1, 15 years on probation, and count 30, sentencing withheld until the completion of the initial trial of this case. After the initial trial of this case, provided defendant has complied with the special conditions outlined in section B as in boy, C as in Charlie, D as in Delta, F as in Frank, I as in Indigo of section 3 special conditions of sentence of this plea agreement. The state agrees that defendant shall be allowed to withdraw his guilty plea on count 30, and the state shall agree to null pros count 30. The special conditions of the sentence, as outlined in section 3, are that defendant shall abide in full by each and all of the terms of this negotiated agreement. Defendant's failure to abide by any term of this agreement
Come on, nigga,
shall
stop trying to
constitute
hide.
a violation of the agreement. Defendant shall testify truthfully about all matters relating to this case upon which he is questioned at any trial or judicial proceeding stemming from
P&T
the facts
Productions,
alleged in
man.
this indictment. In accordance with testifying truthfully about all matters relating to this case, defendant acknowledges that each and all of the statements contained within the defendant's factual acknowledgments section of this agreement are true. Defendant shall testify truthfully about each statement contained within defendant's factual acknowledgments.
I wonder
and
what's
any
going
matters
on through his
related to this
mind
case
right now.
when asked to do so in any proceeding related to the facts alleged in this indictment. Defendant shall possess no guns unless his right to do
I
so
thought you
is
said he was
excluded.
saying something,
Defendant shall
babe.
commit no criminal acts.
She had
Defendant
both
shall
charges,
submit to
right?
random
Oh,
drug
shit,
screenings
okay.
by the Department of Community Supervision and any agency designated by the court in this case. Should the defendant test positive for any Schedule 1, 2, or 3 drug, Defendant shall within 30 days of said
I
positive
know.
test
There are
undergo
4
drug
schedules.
rehabilitation as designated by the court.
Go look
or
up the 4
Department of
schedules
Community
if you don't know about the drug
and shall
schedules.
successfully complete said
4 different
rehabilitation
schedules.
program. Defendant relinquishes any Fifth Amendment right related to any statement contained within defendant's factual acknowledgments contained within this plea agreement.
If you want to know, shit.
Section 4, defendant's factual acknowledgments. Have you initialed each and all of the defendant's
It's
factual
so
acknowledgments
hard.
contained within Section 4 of this document?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that
This
initial?
is high. Yeah,
your
man.
initial?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, man.
The factual acknowledgments are as follows. Number 1, Young Slime Life, aka YSL, is an organization made up of 3 or more members or associates who share common identifiers that include, but are not limited to, colors, hand signals, and terminology, who have committed crimes intended to increase the notoriety, street credibility, and reputation of YSL. Number 2, defendant has been a member and or associate of YSL since 2012. Number 3, while associated with YSL and to support and express loyalty to YSL, defendant and co-defendant Demikion Garlington and Quindarius Zachary appeared in a video with another person, AS, where defendant brandished a weapon used in a drive-by shooting, and where on behalf of YSL, defendant threatened to harm a person named Kel, a rival gang member who had begun a relationship with defendant's ex-girlfriend. Number 4, on or about April 28, 2015, as reflected in Fulton County Indictment 15SC 138994, defendant and fellow YSL associates Demikion Garlington and Quindarius Zachary committed a drive-by shooting using the firearm defendant wielded in the video referenced in Part 3 of this section, targeting family members of a rival gang. Number 5, defendant and his fellow YSL associates committed the drive-by shooting referenced in sections 3 and 4 above on behalf of YSL and to increase the notoriety, reputation, and fear of YSL. Number 6, defendant admitted committing and was convicted of aggravated assault and participation in criminal street gang activity, among other charges, for his participation in the drive-by shooting referenced in sections 3, 4, and 5 above. Number 7, defendant was told by another YSL associate that immediately after the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr., YSL associates met at the McDonald's on Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia, to discuss the murder. Number 8, defendant personally knows that one or more YSL associates committed the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr. on behalf of YSL. Number 9, on January the 10th, 2015, after the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr., defendant and other YSL associates gathered at the home of Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, who gave defendant and other YSL associates cash money to lay low. Number 10, defendant has personal knowledge that on January 10, 2015, after the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr., YSL associates traveled to Miami, Florida with co-defendant and YSL founder Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug. Number 11, defendant did not murder Donovan Thomas Jr. and was not a party to the crime. Number 12, defendant did not murder Shamel Drinks and was not a party to the crime. Number 13, defendant cannot truthfully assert that the persons charged in this indictment with the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr. are not guilty of the murder, and defendant will make no attempt at trial, prior to trial, or after trial to exonerate the persons charged in this indictment with the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr. Number 14, the gas station at 151
you said you heard him
Cleveland
saying
Avenue,
something.
Atlanta, Georgia, is one of multiple locations where YSL associates sell drugs and do not allow other gangs to
Oh,
operate.
I thought you said he was saying
The
something.
gas station at 221
Oh, okay, I
Cleveland
got
Avenue,
you.
Atlanta, Georgia,
I
is
got
another
you.
location where YSL
Oh, yeah, we know that.
associates
Okay, I got you. I know
do not
that.
allow
Yeah,
other
yeah,
gangs
yeah.
to operate. Number 16, defendant has personal knowledge that he and other members or associates of YSL
Oh,
have
listen to
either
this.
participated in or directly committed at least one of the following crimes in order to increase the notoriety and reputation of YSL.
Oh.
Murder, armed armed robbery, aggravated assault, attempted murder, theft, illegal gun possession, and illegal drug possession and sales. Mr. Sledge, have you had an opportunity to go over each one of the defendant's factual acknowledgments and make corrections?
Get out of jail free card.
And do
You know the
now
boy a killer.
that each of the factual
You know the boy a
acknowledgments that you have
nutcase.
initialed in this section are true
You gonna let
and
him back
correct and
out.
accurate to the best of your ability.
Yes, ma'am.
So he can genocide some more of us.
States that defendants' sentencing
Cause them little bastards, they ain't worth a fuck. All they do is genocide, 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 genocide. They don't care about building together, starting businesses together. Let's come together and do something, right together. All the fuck they want to do is kill each other. Me and my man's harder than y'all. Y'all man's harder than us. We got the new Ferrari. Y'all got the old Ferrari. Man, all these skillionaires, why don't you dumbasses wake up? Wake the fuck up and start getting together and doing business ventures together. Another Black Wall Street idiots. Fucking idiots. All y'all idiots, yo. Y'all idiots, yo. Y'all idiots. And you're gonna pay, you're gonna reap for what you sow, dog. You're gonna pay and you're gonna reap for what you sow. You do dirty shit, trust me, that shit gonna come right back around the corner and bite you on your ass.
The defendant understands fully that if he violates any provision or any special condition of this plea agreement, his probation for this sentence may be revoked in its entirety, and the district attorney will recommend that defendant serve any remaining portion of this sentence in confinement at the Georgia Department of Corrections or prison.
Boy, don't tell.
Number 3, defendant understands fully that any violation of any provision or of any special condition of this plea agreement shall result in defendant being
can't
sentenced
hang
on
out.
30 of this indictment.
Yo.
And the district attorney will recommend that the defendant serve the maximum sentence allowed by law. Number 4, defendant understands.
Can't really talk to nobody, no other gang members, like other felons. You can't talk to them, shorty. Yeah, this shit gonna be as easy. Your little ass probably be either back locked up again within the next 90 days, or your head hit within the next 90 days, and they know it. So they said, fuck it, we can save our sandwiches for some people that might really need them.
This case shall nullify any promise made by the district attorney to null pros count 30 of this indictment and may result in defendant being
all the money's being invested in the private prisons everywhere. Did y'all know that? Did you idiots know that? Did y'all know that? Private prisons being built to put you in them. And you'll be surprised in who the people that are involved in these private prisons being built to contain you and make money off of you. Even the drug market, the feds, the police, they all making money. They make us, and the Gambino boys, they make us sell this shit. Well, not really, but we so fucking stupid that we don't even know that we being used as the pawns. That's because all we want to do is buy a chain. All we want to do is buy a Gucci hat. Idiot shit, man. Idiot shit. Fucking idiot shit, man. Wake up, yo. Wake up. You kids, wake up, man. Or it's going to be you next. Sitting in this chair talking about, yes, ma'am.
And, Your Honor, there is a typo that document, it's the word should be being, and it's spelled B-E-G-I-N. I'm going to ask that defendant
You hiding this shit.
and
Nigga, we see you, nigga.
that word, B-E-G-I-N.
You ain't go to yeah. The same thing at me, other homeboy. Y'all thought y'all was gonna squeeze to the crack. Gunner, look, his lawyers are gonna come out and say Gunner didn't do this. Somebody leaked the video. Probably was a cop. Probably was a white cop. Say, yeah, we gonna get this bitch killed. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Yeah. We gonna let everybody know that Gunner is a rat. Sign all the paperwork.
And Mr. Sledge, is that your initial?
Saying I'm gonna be in court.
The word began to change it to
Ready to
begin.
testify against
And
Thug.
result in defendant being sentenced to serve as much as 35 years of confinement in the Georgia Department of Corrections or prison.
Setting you up, boy.
Number 6,
They
defendant
setting you up.
understands full.
As they know you can't go home and not carry a gun. They know you can't go home and get caught with not get caught with no weed. They know that you can't go home and do these things while on this supervision thing. They're gonna smack you over top of the head with that 35, boy. You gonna fuck it up, watch.
That no promises, agreements, or conditions have been made other than those set forth in this document. Mr. Sledge, are these your initials on each section under defendant's sentencing acknowledgments?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, man.
Mr. Sledge, do you
TNP
agree
Productions.
the following statement is one that you have read, fully understood, and signed your name acknowledging? I, Antonio Sledge, have read and carefully reviewed this agreement. I have reviewed and corrected where necessary for accuracy each statement contained in defendant's factual acknowledgments, and I acknowledge the truth and accuracy of each and every statement listed therein. I fully understand this agreement, and I've had an opportunity to discuss this agreement and each of its provisions with my attorney, Mr. Derek Wright. No promises other than those contained in this document have been made to me in furtherance of this agreement. I freely, knowingly, and voluntarily enter into this agreement without force, threat,
Man,
or
so
coercion.
many of these
Is that the
niggas told,
statement
man.
that you acknowledge
So
in this agreement?
many.
Yeah, ma'am.
Your
is that the
cousin
statement?
told, your brother told, and I think I got the words. Some people saying that he told them to do that. I'm not falling for that one. That's some bullshit that's just floating through the internet or whatever. Cause he ain't tell these niggas to do this dumbass shit. Then why they didn't give Thug no plea? Court ain't trial didn't even start yet.
You sign your name underneath.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, the state
Crazy.
tenders as evidence. Stacy
Yeah, don't hide, nigga. We got you.
S.
No. Any objection? State
Yes.
1AS is admitted for purpose of plea.
Half slick ass nigga. Yeah, half slick ass
Mr.
nigga.
Sledge,
I don't give a fuck if you ever see this video. Fuck you, nigga. Fuck
to
you.
Violate
And
the
you better hope
Racketeer
that
Influence and
boy
Corrupt Organizations Act
stay out of my
as
city.
alleged in count 1 of indictment 22 SC 183572.
Guilty.
And how do you plead to count 30 of this indictment? 22 SC 183572, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon previously convicted of a felony involving the use or possession of a firearm.
Guilty.
Man, that charge alone carried 15 years.
Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with the full knowledge of the charges against you?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that you may have only a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you have only 4 years from today for a felony charge and 12 months from today for a misdemeanor charge to file what is known as a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness of this guilty plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, the state will now provide a factual basis for this plea.
They hiding his ass,
Go
look.
ahead, ma'am, whenever you're
Your Honor, if this case
You
were
know,
to go to
nobody
trial,
see him.
The state believes that the evidence will prove
Look,
beyond
he
a
hiding his
reasonable doubt
ass.
against this defendant
Better hide
that
his
the
little
defendant,
ass.
together with indicted
He's
and
gonna-
unindicted
He's gonna see him when he come on the.
co-conspirators in Fulton County
Niggas gonna see him when he come on the stand anyway. You know what I mean? Man, I can't wait till this trial start to see who show up to testify against Young Thug. That's gonna be the wildest next month.
on or between January the 24th, 2013 and May 8th of 2022 did unlawfully conspire
TMP
to
Productions.
acquire, maintain directly and indirectly an interest in and control of United States money and other personal property through a pattern of racketeering activity. Furthermore, defendant did unlawfully conspire to conduct and participate in directly and indirectly such enterprise through a pattern of
Furthermore,
racketeering
Moors.
activity. The enterprise, Your Honor, as described in this indictment and as the state expects the evidence will show, is called Young Slime Life, also known as YSL. And during the time listed in the indictment, the defendant, along with others, conspired to associate together and with others for the common purpose of illegally obtaining money and property through a pattern of racketeering activity and conducting and participating in this enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity. The objectives of the conspiracy included, but were not limited to, protecting, preserving, and enhancing the reputation, power, and territory of the enterprise through acts of racketeering activity, including murder, assault, and threats of violence, preserving, protecting, and enhancing the reputation, power, and territory of the enterprise by the posting of messages, images, videos, and songs demonstrating allegiance to the enterprise and a willingness to engage in violence on its behalf, obtaining money, weapons, and other property through acts of racketeering activity, including robbery, theft, and the unlawful sale and distribution of drugs. Your Honor,
TMP Productions.
YSL is an enterprise consisting of a group of individuals
Fair
associated
use.
in fact.
Educational
It
purposes
constitutes an
only.
ongoing
Fair use.
organization whose associates function as a continuing unit for the common purpose of achieving its objectives. YSL is a criminal street gang that started in late 2012 in the Cleveland Avenue of Atlanta, Georgia. Their identifiers vary, and they use common identifiers including colors, clothing, tattoos, and hand signs, as well as verbal and written identifiers, Your Honor.
I'm quite sure he know that. He know that much.
Your Honor, in furtherance of the conspiracy and to effect its
We got a
objects,
hijack ready come in. Set. Got a little bit left to go, y'all.
committed overt acts which reflect his tacit agreement to participate
My channel is all
in the
about
enterprise
awareness.
through a pattern
Awareness.
of racketeering activity.
Wake up. Awareness. Wake up.
Overt acts
This is
include,
for
but are not
that
limited to,
kid
the defendant's
that
possession of cocaine
is in his
with the intent to
bedroom right
distribute
now,
as alleged
and
in,
he's thinking about
number
whether
8
he wants
of
to
count
become a
1
gang
on
member or not.
November the 29th of 2013.
This ain't just for entertainment. A lot of my videos won't be understood until after
The
I'm
defendant's commission
transition.
of the aggravated assault as listed in defendant's factual
But,
acknowledgement
yeah.
on April the
We know
28th
this.
of 2015. The defendant's commission of Act 45 in count 1 on April the 28th of 2015, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. The defendant's commission of Act 46 as alleged in count 1 of the indictment on April the 28th of 2015 of participation in criminal street gang activity. The defendant's posing while an associate of YSL for a photo released on social media wearing pants with the letters OTS, standing for Only the Slime, with the caption of OGs with the green snake emoji and green heart emoji on April the 8th of 2021, as alleged in Act 128 of Count 1 of this indictment.
Damn, man, they got y'all logos down. So, trust me, man, if the alphabet boys want to know who you are, they're going to find out who you are, man. Don't never think you can be that guy that can outslick artificial intelligence, because they got all kind of bugs, CIs, all kind of stuff going on, man. So, you know, be careful when you're moving out there, man. Shit real.
And Act 151 of Count 1 on December 5th, 2021, as alleged in Count 1 of this indictment, wherein defendant possessed a firearm while previously convicted of a felony involving the use or the possession of a firearm. Your Honor, as the defendant acknowledged in State's Exhibit 1AS, defendant has been associated with YSL since 2012 and has committed the acts that are contained in this plea agreement as well, which also reflect defendant's tacit agreement to participate in this enterprise racketeering activity. Your Honor,
please show me some love, Your Honor.
Earlier has pled guilty to the commission of acts along with other YSL associates in furtherance of the gang YSL. Specifically, Your Honor, beginning back in January
bitches
of
fucking
2015,
label them all.
after the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr. in Fulton County.
Most
a
rats
series
of
of
them all.
retaliatory shootings
YSL.
between YSL and the
Look who they had running.
organization of
The
which
nigga
Mr.
that ran
Thomas
around
was a
wearing
member
dresses and
began
shit
to occur. One of
when
the
he first came
retaliatory
out.
shootings is the one that is listed
The fuck
in
is you
defendant's
expect?
factual acknowledgments in State's Exhibit 1AS. Your Honor, as recently as earlier this year, the murder of yet another person whom the organization considered a rival, Mr. Shamel Drinks, took place, turning 2022 into sort of a repeat of 2015. Your Honor, the defendant has knowingly, voluntarily, and willingly signed this plea agreement, and as a result of the defendant's willingness to be forthcoming and to be truthful and to own responsibility for his actions, the state is willing to make the recommendation that I've relayed to the court, and we ask that the court accept this negotiated plea agreement. Your Honor, that is all that the state has. If the court will permit me one moment, please.
Okay.
That is all that I have, Judge. Again, we just ask that
Squirmer. Squirmer.
To 15 years of probation on count 1. As to count 2, we would ask that the court withhold sentencing until after the completion of the initial trial of this case, and after the initial trial of this case, provided that the defendant has complied with the special conditions outlined and contained in the plea agreement. Your Honor, the state agrees that the defendant should be allowed to withdraw that guilty plea on count 30, and the state shall agree and will agree to no loss on count 30. Your Honor, further,
No process on count 30. What the fuck?
Your Honor, he,
love is this.
Yeah.
Judge, the case that was referenced that he pled guilty to before for the ag assault is closed. So he's not currently under an active sentence.
The issue is gonna be is that he's got no sentence on the guy to count 30.
This nigga run around whacking shit. Ooh, wow.
Initially, when he was arrested for count 30, he was given a $31,000 bond that he made. So
that bond still remains.
that bond is still in effect for that, I guess, underlying.
Dodge the hijack, dodge the hijack.
Sometimes one size
Yeah, a
doesn't
little bit
fit
more to
all.
go, y'all.
Too
Dodge
big,
the hijack, dodge
too
the
small.
dodge the hijack, dodge the hijack, dodge the
For
hijack.
that, I guess, underlying charge.
Let's go live on one of these rats. YSL rats. Fat boy that got paid. He probably got a million. Probably got a million, quick million.
If I may, the state has no objection to the court granting a signature bond as to that count, subject to any restrictions that the court feels necessary to place on the defendant, and considering the fact that the defendant has now pled guilty to that
Everything.
charge.
Skiddy it. Oh, your boy. Let's give you. Oh, we got a mask on. Killer from the Manila. Snitch, boy. Snitch. So we gonna get out of here, man. YSL boys. Rats. Super tough. Super slick. Super this. Niggas. Whores. It's whores, man. Young Thug, hold your head, little brother. Young Thug, hold your head, little brother. Hold your head, little brother. Peace.
Your Honor, with the court permit, the